security, right? That is where you have stopped. Sorry, yesterday all of a sudden I have cancelled the class. Sorry. Okay. So today, what I said, I've asked you people to actually go through this security, and here we have to add the database support here, right? Here, you see, we were configuring the user details, credentials, and all in the configuration file itself. So now let's try to configure the details in the database. Okay. So we'll use this element called as JDBC user service to configure the database details. In here, what is the other thing you have to do? We have to configure the database details, right? So do we have the database configuration already in place? I believe we have it, right? In another configuration file. Yes, here it is. So I'll use this reference here. ID driver manager data source. Okay. Driver manager. I'll copy paste it here. These two files, configuration files, they belong to the same project, right? Yes, we can do this. Next thing, now we should not configure the details here. Instead, what we are supposed to do now, here we should ask the framework to use this JDBC user service to interact with the database, right? We should ask the user, this security module to use. Actually, I'm sorry, we can configure the details here itself, but I'll tell you just a second. So straight away we'll configure the details here itself. Okay. Data source, driver manager data source. What else? We have to configure here password encoder. Actually, in the database already I've got the tables, right? What are the two tables which you have to create? Yes. One is users, the other one is authorities. Very good. Those are the two tables which are needed, and already have those tables here. Oh, sorry. I think I forgot to send the link. You got? If you people don't get the link within 5-10 minutes, please ping me. Otherwise, you'll miss a good part of the session again, right? So I forgot to send the link to one of our attendees today. Okay, just a second. Yes. Yeah, Pragati, I'm actually talking about how to configure the database, how to configure the, how to supply the database details to the security. In the sense, we'll ask the security framework to add the, to use the tables for reading the credentials and validate the user. Now we got two tables, standard tables. These are standard tables. Everyone here, you have to understand that this user table and the authorities table are two standard tables which are prescribed by the Spring security module. So you can use them. Yeah, but what if I want to change this tables or use some other tables? Then you can also do that. But there is a different procedure for that. Okay. Yes. So now we got two standard tables here, authorities and users, which we are using. Okay. And the database details, we have configured them here. Driver manager data source details. We have configured the bean here, driver manager data source, which contains the database details. And in turn, that reference, we have passed it here. This way, we'll ask the Spring framework to use this database, okay, to interact, use this database to fetch these details. Yes. Okay. Yes. So hope you people got it. Now, actually, here the passwords which are stored here, they are encoded actually. So using MD5 hashing algorithm. Yes. Hash equal to MD5. Sorry. MD5. That's it. Now we have configured the database details here. That's it. That is what you're supposed to do. Okay. So now we should be able to use this credentials admin and Harry, and the roles are what? Role admin and role user. So we got the roles here. Role admin. Okay. Yes. Now let's see whether it works or not. Okay. I'll deploy this application on the server. Is there any issue? No, but the application also didn't load. Just a second. The server has encountered a problem actually here. Let me stop the server. Our application login JSP, right? Okay. When actually application didn't load, just a second. Actually, recently I'm hosting a very big application on the Tomcat server. So I have to delete it in order to make this application work. No, we named our manager data sources. Find this is. Okay, the problem is here, I'll tell you. First of all, when the application loads, immediately, first of all, this configuration file will load. That's the problem. So here, first configuration file which loads is this one, not this one, the other one, Spring Security Configuration file. So let's do one thing. I'll show you. Here, we got two configuration files, right? One for security and one for the database. Sorry, one for the application for configuring the screens and all, controllers and all. You see here, what I'll do is I'll copy this database configuration details from this particular XML file and I'll add it here because the first file which loads configuration file loads the security file. So let us add that here. Okay. Yes. Okay, just a second. Says it is not bound here. Let me delete this prefix. So now this should work because this is the first configuration file which loads. So the other one it will load next. That means when this file loads, it will look for that bean, right? What is it for that driver manager data source? Because we have configured it here. We have configured driver manager data source, but it was in another bean, another configuration file, which loads next. So that will cause a problem. So let's do one thing. I will add that bean details here itself. Okay, so that this bean, because this one loads first, so it will make sure that this driver manager loads with this configuration file itself. Yes. Yeah, you see now it works. So we'll access this login page. Here, now we'll use the credentials which are in the database. Say admin min 123. If it works fine, then we should be able to successfully log in. Login failure it says. Let me check the password once again. Admin 123. Yeah, the password I gave it wrongly. Got successfully logged in. Okay, so this is working. Search JSP. It is in the secured folder, right? App dot secure slash search JSP. Yes. Can you set, already that is set. Already that is set. Okay. Here, if you want to explicitly configure it, what we are doing, we are loading them using the listener, which you got in the web.xml file. We can't set the order, but okay, it is set already. I can say how, whichever files which you load using this context, context will load, a listener will load first. Yes, that is the order. So we are loading this configuration files, root context and Spring security configuration files with this context loader listener. They will be loaded first, and then we are loading another configuration file which is loaded here, which will load next. Yes. So why do we need two different configuration files? You see, in this configuration file, servlet context XML file, we have configured, you can configure the controller details and all such things, view resolvers, which we use, in the application. And this configuration file explicitly, we are using it for the configuration, for the security purpose, right? Yeah, that is how it works. Okay, so hope you people got it. Now, here, what if I want to use my own tables, custom tables? In that case, what to do? Here, if you want to use your own tables, custom tables, then you got an option, but I want you people to explore it. Okay, yes, first I want you people to do that. Will you people try that? Using your own tables instead of custom tables. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll show you, don't worry. So here, I'll give you the details of how to work with it. Generally, not in all cases we can use the standard tables. Here, you'll find that we can't use the standard tables always, which are provided by the Spring security, because we'll have our own requirement, right? So our company or clients may not, want this one. This the standard configuration files which are which are recommended by the Spring security. In that case, you may want to use your own configuration files to query the database. So how do you do that in that case? Yeah. So in that case, you will find that you have to configure your own configuration file tables and all such details. That is what I'm going to show you people now. Let's see. Okay, let's see that. Yes. For that, first of all, yeah, just a second, please. Yes. You see here, first of all, you have to decide which tables you want to use. Okay, which tables you want to use. Let's say I want to use um, tables or colors. We have to create them. Just a second. Let me think about it. Yeah, let's say I've got a table colors, some user, let's say user info table, and here I got user ID. Generally, do you have a user ID here? No, right? There's no user ID. Say I have a username, password fields. Generally here, you'll find that okay, even this can be different. Username can also be different, right? Yes. So you'll find that I got this tables, user info table with this user ID, password, and let's say enable or something like that. Last login date, last login. Okay, and let's say I got another table. Okay, enable is needed. Okay, let's say we'll remove this enable. Let's see whether it should work actually. And let's say I got another table called user roles or roles, just roles table, role matrix table. Generally we call it as role matrix. No, which contains user roles. Okay, roles. You can give any name. Now here in this table, let's say I got the columns like user ID, role ID. User ID is on top, right? And authority. And let's say these two tables are mapped using a foreign key column, user underscore ID. Okay, earlier you'll find this. You'll find that the username was actually mapping these two tables, was linking, joining these two tables. But here I'm using user ID underscore FK. Let's say this is the you know okay, role underscore user underscore ID. This is the foreign key column. Let's say which maps. Which one is a foreign key column here? This one. Which maps roles table and user table. Let's say. Okay. Now I want the framework to use these tables. So what to do? So here in that case we have to supply our own queries. We have to supply our own queries in that case. So let's do that. Because Hibernate doesn't know how to query these tables, right? So we have to supply the queries obviously. So in the data source, now you will configure the details. Here you have configured the JDBC data source, right? So here itself, JDBC user service, you will configure the details. Actually, you will have an attribute here. Let me see. See, authorities, user by, first of all, you will find an attribute called as user by username. We have to query how the Spring framework should query the database for user details. That query you have to write it. So what should be the query here? We want the Spring security module to query for the table whose name is user info, username, password, and enabled. Let's take enabled first of all. Okay, enable. So these are the three fields which we got, right? So these are the three fields which are needed. So select username, comma, password, comma, enable from user info where username is equal to question mark. This is one query. So Spring Security will use this query to fetch that username, password, and enabled field details. Okay, that is one query. And then we got another query here. Okay. What is error here? You don't need this. Remove this. Add a slash here. Let me stop the server, please. Now you have another attribute. Let's say I'll call it as authorities by username query. This is why we need the query. Actually, okay, we are getting the details about the user name, password, and all, but we want the details about the role of that user, right? Yes. So for that, you see, I'll do this. U dot username, comma. So what is the authority of the user? U dot R dot authority from, we have to execute a join query, right? From user info U, comma, roles R, where U dot user underscore ID equal to what? R role underscore user and okay, and the query should be based on the username, and username equal to question mark. That's it. Okay, yeah, this is what you'll do. So this way we will write the queries, because Hibernate is not aware of it, right? Sorry, always it is going for Hibernate. Sorry, the Spring Security is not aware of it. So we have written these two queries. Now, just a second, please. So now just examine this queries once. You see, now Spring Security will use this first query to get the username and password details, and the second query to get the role details. Okay, is there any issue with the queries? Please let me know. Did I write the queries properly? I guess we did it. Okay, if you're using MySQL database, then test the schema name is mandatory. Test. Before the table name, you have to add the schema. Test. Okay, now let's create these tables. User info. User underscore ID. Okay, please let me know if I do anything wrong. Okay, username. Okay, character. Password. And then enables. To work care of 2 or 3 should be enough. Okay, click on apply. We got the user info table. Let's create the roles table. Role underscore ID. What else you have? Authority and the primary key. Role underscore user underscore ID. This should be again integer type. Okay, and it should be mapped to the primary key of the user info table. Let's add that foreign key constraint. Foreign key name, okay, user ID. Okay. So reference table is user info table, right? User info table. We will map it to the which column? User ID column. That's it. Sorry. I'll check this one. Yeah, this column, role user ID, will map it to user underscore ID. That's it. Okay. Click on apply. Okay. Let me check the columns once again. Role underscore user underscore ID. Role underscore user underscore ID. Right. Everything is fine, right? Perfect. Now let's add some details here. User info. Let's say 101 user ID. So 1 user ID is 1. Let's say sorry 101 username ID. Password is okay. We'll not encode it initially. When it will not encode. Otherwise, I have to go with this again. Enabled. Just let me check once what value I used to configure here. Enabled is 1. Oh, actually it is integer type. Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah. I have to edit this table. It should be integer type. Alter table. Edit it. Change it to integer type. That's it. Okay. 101 username ID. So password is ID. 1, 2, 3. Enable 1. I'll add 1. Let me add this details. Okay. Now we'll add the role for this user. The roles table is here. Role ID is 1. The authority is role admin. And the role user ID is 101. That's it. Now you got the data table details here. Now We'll run this code. Oh, sorry. I've actually added this password encoder, right? To comment it. Password encoder, I'm doing it because our passwords are not encoded now. Sorry. Okay, it is asking to log in. Apply the details. Okay. Click on submit. Great. It's working. Okay. So, okay, how do you know whether it's working or not? Here we'll do one thing. I'll delete all the rows. Then we'll know whether it's really working or not. Actually, it's working because I gave Harry details, but Harry role is not admin, right? Yes. Let me delete them. Delete from users. So first, we have to delete them from the authorities table because there is a dependency here. So delete from authorities table. Yeah, the rows are deleted, you see. Now that sorry, they're not deleted. Let me execute the statement. In safe mode. Commit rollback is there. Where is the safe mode here? Okay, I'm sorry. We'll do one thing. I'll change the details here itself. User info. Instead of giving the username as Harry, I'll give something else. Raj. That's it. So we'll come to know whether it's really working or not, right? Oops. Okay. Now you see the username is is Raj now. I'll remove this application completely and restart it. Clean it. Okay. It is asking to log in. I'll click Raj and Raj 1, 2, 3. Click on submit. Okay, it's working. Got it? So any doubts or issues in this regard, please let me know. So this is how you'll configure your own custom tables instead of using the user tables. But one thing, the field names, make sure that, okay, so you see, what if you can try in different ways also. As of now, I'm doing this, right? I've added the tables with the username, password columns, but try changing the column names. You see what happens. Okay, whether it works or not. If you change the column name instead of username, what if you give something else? What if you don't use enabled? Will it work or not? So that kind of things I want you people to explore them. Okay. Yes. So hope you people will do that. Is there any doubts or issues? Please let me know. Okay. So hope this is clear for you people, right? So this is about your Spring security. But there was one issue with the logout. So I will definitely, check that. So I didn't do that. Once I do that, I'll let you know. But hopefully I should be able to fix that issue. And now even you should be able to solve that issue. Okay. Yes. So having understood the concepts of logout, okay, let me see once. Okay. Let me see how we can fix these issues. Okay. Yeah. So that's the thing. Last thing. It's really big. Now we have to concentrate on the other framework, which is very important for us. And let me know if anyone is interested in doing any kind of project in Spring. That means, for practice purpose. So if you are interested, okay, yes. If you got any small case studies which you want to implement, if you want me to give people any small case studies which you can implement, okay, I can do that. But only you have to explicitly ask me to do that, okay. Yes. So I want you people to mail me, okay, or call me if you want any such uh, projects, okay, case studies which you want to implement. You can implement them. I can say one thing. If you are serious regarding this framework, definitely you should do it. Okay. Yes, you have to at least do one project. Otherwise, you know, as of now, hearing, when you're in the class, okay, maybe it looks comfortable. Lot of will be not. You won't find much issue. But when you are using this framework, okay, you will come to know about many interesting facts, many new things. And there is a lot of scope to explore also, okay. So not everything can be taught in the class, right? So you can also explore such things, okay, which I'll let you know. You can do that. Yeah. So hope you people will at least do one project on this under my guidance. So it will be better for you people. Definitely, I will give you a scope, a chance where you can explore. Okay. Definitely, you should be able to explore a lot. Okay. Yes. Fine. Um, okay. Yes. Actually, there's one more thing. If someone has deleted the records, or by chance, if you people have moved the records, sometimes it happens. Instead of copying them and pasting them, you might have actually please try to copy them and paste them back into the you know Dropbox folder. Yeah, please do that because they're very valuable records. Everyone should use them, right? So please make sure that they are up and they're available again. Restore them. By any chance, if your people have deleted it, happens. Many times it happened earlier. Now also may happen. So please do that. Yes. And here I hope most of you people will come forward and do at least one project on this. Okay. Yes. So even though I know here everyone is working. Okay. No one is idle. No one is a student. Most of them working here. Yes, definitely they will be busy, but still out of your busy time, give take some time and try to implement the Spring framework, use the Spring framework to develop at least one application. So yeah, okay, sure, I'll do that. I'll place the projects in the workspace. Can someone please drop me a mail for that so that I can do that? Okay, sure. If you come forward, if you're interested, there are a lot of things to explore in Spring Framework, okay, which I'll make you people to do that. Okay, definitely there are a lot of things to explore. You'll find it interesting, so hope you will enjoy this framework a lot. So yes, it's most challenging, predominant one now in the market. Okay, so it's a very valuable framework to learn. Yeah. Okay, cool. So now the next thing which we have to talk about, I believe, is regarding the web services. Right. We'll just brief you on this today. Web services framework. So web services, let me just give you an outline of what we're going to do here in web services training. So in web services, what we'll do is we'll talk about two different types of web services actually. You'll find that you have two different types of web services. Okay. One is RESTful web services, the other one is SOAP-based web services. Okay, SOAP-based and RESTful web services. So you will find that both types, SOAP-based and RESTful web services, they are very important. People are using both the approaches. Okay, yes. So you'll find that here we'll be using RESTful web services as well as SOAP-based web services accordingly. Yeah. Now here you may ask me first of all, what is web service? Okay, I'm not going to actually explain what is web service today, but we'll do it in the next class. Okay, yes, definitely we'll do it in the next class. Here you'll find that SOAP-based web services actually based on a protocol called a SOAP. Just let me brief you. There is a protocol called a SOAP, and the SOAP-based web services are based on this protocol. You'll find that they're actually based on this protocol called a SOAP. And here, you'll find that there are different frameworks and APIs to develop SOAP-based web services. So you'll find that you have frameworks like Access2. You'll find that you have frameworks like Access2, Apache, CXF, and you have APIs which are provided by Java like JAX-WS. Okay, earlier we had JAX-RPC. Now it is for no one is using it. JAX-RPC is also there, but no one uses JAX-RPC. Okay, yes, it is outdated. And the other thing is here, we have RESTful. Okay, first of all, these are two frameworks which you'll see. What are they? First one is Apache CXF, sorry, Access2, which is provided by access to Apache people. Apache Software Foundation, the same people who provided Tomcat server, okay, who provided Struts2 framework. They've also provided Struts2 framework. Not only that, you'll find that there are many other frameworks under their belt, apart from Struts and access to frameworks. Okay, yes, and you'll find that they have provided two frameworks for web services. Now you might be wondering, what is the difference between Apache CXF and JAX-WS? Okay, yes. So here, but I'll be talking about access2. We'll see if I got any chance to talk about CXF, I'll do that. At least I'll try to introduce you people to that CXF, okay? Yes, and next you'll find that you got JAX-WS. What is JAX-WS? JAX-WS is another, JAX-WS is another API, but it is officially part of Java, I can say. Java people have provided this API, which actually simplifies the web services development process. Okay, yes, you'll find that it will be really easy to develop the web services using access2. Okay, yes, sorry, JAX-WS. Fine. These are the three APIs which you'll see, but I'll be talking about access2 and JAX-WS both. Next, you'll find that here we got an API plus JAX-RS, which is provided by Java to support RESTful web services. Okay, so Java provides support for RESTful web services through this API itself, JAX-RS. Actually, JAX-WS, it stands for Java API for XML web services. JAX-WS. Okay, we'll give you the full forms and all later. Okay, don't worry. And JAX-RS, it stands for Java API for Java API for XML RESTful web services. RESTful web services. RESTful. RS stands for RESTful. Okay. Yes. Fine. You know what? Here, actually, when it comes to JAX-RS, the concept is slightly different. So if you want to use JAX-RS, you need an implementation for it. You need an implementation for it. And the implementation is provided by, there is a popular implementation among the developers which is available. It is actually known as Jersey. Jersey. Jersey is the official implement. Jersey implements the JAX-RS API. So if you want to use JAX-RS, then you need Jersey. Okay. Or there is one more implementation called as REST. You can use any one of the implementations. Okay. You can use any one of the implementations. You know, when we talk about JAX-RS, you will find that yeah, it is similar to your. It's actually a specification, I can say. It is actually a specification. Specification means what? That means, you won't find the concrete implementations here in JAX-RS. It should be implemented by, the implementations will be provided by third-party people. Okay, yes. So this Jersey and REST easy third-party people who provide the implementation for the JAX-RS. So this is somewhat similar to a JDBC API. Generally, if you want to interact with JDBC API, what you will do? You need drivers, JDBC drivers. Without using the drivers, it is not possible to interact with JDBC API, right? Because the drivers itself, they will provide the implementation for the JDBC API. Am I right? Drivers, they provide the implementation for the JDBC API. At least we need one implementation, JDBC drivers, to to work with JDBC API, right? Similarly, if you want to work with JAX-RS, we need an implementation for JAX-RS. Basically, it is provided by Jersey and REST-easy. You can use any one of the implementations. Fine. So this we will be covering both Jersey and REST. Jersey here. I'm sorry. JAX-RS with Jersey, and actually that should be enough. Okay. Yeah. So there won't be much difference when you use REST-easy and Jersey. There will be few differences, obviously. The APIs which you will be working will be standard APIs only. You'll be using the standard APIs, but there can be a slight difference in the way you configure them. That's it. Because you will be downloading, if you're using Jersey, you'll download different set of libraries, and if you're using Jersey REST-easy, you'll download different set of libraries. That's the only difference. Okay. Yeah. So you'll come to know about it. Don't worry. So the concept is same. See, the way if you want to work with JDBC API, generally what you will do if you are working with one database server, you'll use one set of drivers. If you're using another database driver, you'll use different set of drivers. And the driver configuration also will be slightly different, right? Similarly here also, the configurations will slightly differ, but the same you'll use the same standard methods, no matter whether you're using which server, database server, which drivers. That set of methods, the way they won't change. Okay, yes, the same concepts are applied here also. Okay, yeah, we'll look into that. So we'll do one thing, we'll meet in the next class, and we'll talk about this web services. Okay, yes, web services framework. We'll start with SOAP-based web services first of all. Before that, I'll be introducing you people to XML also. XML and XML processing APIs. This is a complementary for example. XML processing APIs like JAX-P and JAX-P also. Yes, we'll be talking about it. Okay, for a couple of days I'll talk about JAX-P and JAX-P, and then we'll start with web services. Okay, then I'll stop it here today. Meet you tomorrow and continue our discussion. Yeah, thank you all. Bye bye.